Hi Cancer, this is your forecast for the month of July 2017. This is a general reading for Cancer Sun, Cancer Rising, or Cancer Moon. If you have a different rising or moon sign, you might find watching those videos helpful or more informative for you. You can watch your reading in 3 different ways: the full extended monthly, or for just the energy influence, watch the brief, or in addition to the brief, watch the weekly for the upcoming week. Weeklies also make it easy for you to review information you may have forgotten in the full reading. Please remember that these are general readings, and so they may not apply to everyone. If you would like a reading that is specific to you, please visit my website at thealchemistastrologer.com, and I invite you to follow me on Facebook, Google+, and Instagram. Please also check out my pay-per-view channel, vimeo.com/on-demand/findinglove for monthly love readings. So Cancer, this first week you are dealing with earth energy. This could be a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female. This could be somebody who is a business person, somebody that is a good organizer. Maybe they are somebody that is a patron of the arts. Maybe this is somebody who is very focused on the pleasures of life. This could be you. You could be taking on the traits of this queen. So there's a focus on the practical and good business. So maybe you're focused on managing your money, or this is, being a friend. Maybe you're being the helpful friend, or someone is being that to you. This is about being concerned for the welfare of others. So this person is, again, very sensible. They're organized. They create stability within their environment, and they're very capable of managing, growing things. They're good with the earthy side of life. Maybe this is a good cook or a gardener, or somebody that's good with their hands, somebody who can, is capable of raising a family, but also growing their business. So this could be a week that focuses on beautifying your home or your environment. It could connect to nurturing yourself in some way, your health, your finances, your business. It's about growing something. And maybe this is a week where you feel very secure in your connection to another person, and you're growing that relationship. Maybe, you're taking that relationship to the next step. Or perhaps for some of you, you feel solid in where you are and you're starting something new with somebody. Could be a connection from your past or someone totally new. And there's a mutual reciprocity between you and another person because you have shared goals. You're in alignment with someone else. So this could be a week where you're connecting to kindred spirits. There are friendships. You're working with others. There's partnership, collaborative efforts on something. And you're working to build something together. Now, in the negative, this is petty behavior. This is about being insecure, unstable, having a fear of taking on responsibility. So there could be issues where somebody is moody, or they're depressed, or they're not taking care of their responsibilities, either through recklessness or they've just given up on themselves and their environment. They're being extravagant, or maybe they're not using their common sense. They're not paying attention to the details. It could even be somebody who is, seeking some kind of status in some way, and perhaps using others because of it, because there's some kind of sense of entitlement. Now, this, in the positive again, is somebody who's very organized. They clearly know what they want. They speak their truth. They're not partial to people who are not putting in that good practical effort. So because this person is so concerned with the welfare of others and getting some kind of tangible result, this could be somebody that may be a little bit domineering. They take over a situation and maybe they're speaking out of turn. They're making decisions, or they're telling you what you should do or how you should do it or when you should do it. And so there's a difference of opinion where somebody may feel a little bit overpowered, and it creates some kind of conflict. Now, this is a person who doesn't want to be overpowered. They know what their thoughts are, their opinions, their decisions, and they can sometimes take offense to other people putting their 2 cents in. So either you're playing that role or perhaps someone else is. For some of you, there may be an excessive focus on your business or growing some project or making money or your security, where maybe you need to step back a little bit. Maybe there needs to be a lighter, more playful approach, or maybe you need to do more socializing. There's been too much focus on business. Now, the second week, you have this 2 of Swords, and this card is emphasized in your reading by virtue of falling in the second place. So this card has a strong influence on a situation. So for you, this is a week where you're having difficulty in making a decision. Maybe this is a business decision or a decision about your health. You may not have all the information that you need to make a decision, or maybe you're closing yourself off to some information or truth. It could be that you're stifling your emotions in some way, and it's keeping you from moving forward. Now, maybe you're having difficulty, you're of 2 minds of something. Maybe you are in conflict with someone. Maybe you're in conflict with that Queen of Pentacles. Maybe you have opposing viewpoints, or maybe you're mediating something. Maybe you're using your skills in taking charge to manage something by arbitrating between feuding parties. But this could be a week where something is blocked. The action is stunted in some way. There's a delay. Or maybe you're trying to get past some kind of difficult, tense situation and call a truce. Whatever it is, how determined you are determines how much progress you make. If you can get past your anxiety about a situation in order to move forward, will determine an outcome. Now, either you're too sure of yourself, going back to that queen who is overconfident about her stance and over managing. Maybe you're too confident in a situation, or perhaps you lack confidence in a situation, and so you're just stuck. You're doing nothing, and you're following the line of least resistance. For some of you, you're waiting for something to happen. It could be you're waiting for somebody else to make a move, or you're questioning your judgment, or by waiting, you know that you're going to get ahead somehow. For some of you, you need to make a decision. There's some opportunity that's coming to you. Maybe this is a business decision or a health decision or a decision about a friendship. This is something that ties into possibly your hopes and your dreams, or trying to get some type of, something that you expect, and even going beyond your expectation. There could be a decision that you need to make about something unexpected, like a gift. Something, though, that requires you to act, and you seem to be having a bit of a problem in making a decision. So, again, your determination can be an asset, or it can undermine you. It may be very challenging for you to stay on the sidelines this week. You may have difficulty in waiting. Patience is an issue, and you become frustrated and lose control. Maybe possibly speaking out of turn. So you say something or you do something that actually works against you and what you were trying to create in the first place. Your decisions this week, or lack thereof, is probably because on some level there's some anxiety about your stability or your self-preservation in some way, or the desire to move ahead. And you may be acting in ways that actually create conflict between other people. So this is a week to get a handle on your fears, your anxieties, and taking in the information. If it's strategic to wait, then do that. But if on some gut level you know you need to move forward, then this is a week where you need to take some action. Now, the third week is a major card. In fact, the latter half of this month is important. These are major cards. So to some degree, there are some situations that are beyond your control. And each of these weeks, whatever is going on, has some long-lasting impact on your destiny in some way. This is a week where you may be undergoing some type of major change or dealing with somebody who is an agent of change for you in your life. It could be that you're wrapping some things up. You're concluding some unfinished business. Whatever it is, this is about leaving the past behind, letting something go, making some kind of transition in order to revitalize a situation. Maybe breathe new life into it, or if it's no longer serving you, to release it, surrender, and let it go. So this could be a week where there's some kind of change in your status. Maybe that's because of a marital situation, a job, a financial situation, something to do with your domestic affairs, a relationship. Whatever it is, you are shedding something that is not serving you, whether that's a lifestyle or an attitude or a situation, in order to reincarnate in some other form. So this could be a week of intense life issues that again could run the gamut between an actual death that has already occurred, maybe something to do with surgery, something to do with property, your work, a relationship, financial assets, sexuality, intimacy, making some type of emotional or psychological breakthrough. Whatever it is, these are profound changes that connect to your focus on where you're headed, what's next for you, your motivation, your drive, and coming up with some kind of solid plan and actually following through on that. So this is going to be a week where you are dealing with either an opportunity or a challenge of some sort, and your instincts are kicking in. Again, self-preservation, the need to achieve, your will to survive. And that's driving your ability to reinvent yourself in some way. This is a week where you're gonna want to get clear. That Queen of Pentacles in the first week is very concerned with getting some bottom line answers. You don't want to be stuck. You don't want to be stuck in situations that aren't moving forward. You don't want to be stuck in situations where your freedom is lacking. You don't want anything that leaves you a sense of instability, uncertainty, vagueness. And so you're very concerned about your security, and it's motivating you to take some kind of transformational action. So for some of you, there could be an aspect of a relationship, perhaps with that queen, and you're cutting off one arena of the relationship without sacrificing the friendship. Now, maybe you're having to make some important decisions that bring change to some connection that you have. You should be able to do that this week, again, without sacrificing that relationship. Or perhaps you pick up where you left off in a friendship, somebody with a connection from a long time ago. Whatever it is, you're fluid this week. You are accommodating situations, whether you were planning on those or not, things that are coming at you unexpectedly, the twists in the road. Now, for some of you, this is about some bottom line answers. You're stuck. You're holding yourself back. There's a sense of uncertainty. You're letting your anxieties and your fears get the better of you, largely because you keep going over situations that didn't work out for you, things that left a negative taste in your mouth. And because of that, you're not making changes. You're stagnant and you're creating excuses with yourself, with other people. You're making continuous reasons why you can't do A, B, or C. And see, this is why. And you're justifying that. Some of you, you're cutting yourself off from others. You're becoming your own little entity. But remember, no man is an island. So your impulse may be to close yourself off to suggestions or advice, or perhaps maybe somebody is being domineering or stepping out of turn, driving out of their lane. And you have the inclination to not try to work things out, to close the door on any kind of constructive dialogue. Here's the deal though. If you are not facing a truth, if you're in denial, or you are still holding out on making some changes that could improve your situation, then guess what? You're going to stay right where you are in limbo. So this is a week about getting clear. You may have a sense of aimlessness, or you need to reorient yourself in some way. But the key for you this week and this month lies in personal self-regeneration on whatever level is necessary. This is a week of purging, revitalizing, cutting out the dead wood. So looking at where you are materially, emotionally, physically, psychologically, in order to gain success and reach the pinnacle that you're actually hoping for inside. If you're ready to make change happen, then change is ready to work with you. Now, the last week, again, a major card. So this is a week that kind of takes off suddenly. There's some sudden change, maybe something unexpected, something that shakes up your world. Now, it could very well be you're dealing with somebody who's very aggressive, somebody who is challenging the way you look at life. Now, maybe you're gaining some insights, or perhaps something has happened that you weren't expecting or even wanted to happen. So this could be, traumatizing or disruptive for you in some way. For some of you, if this is death, this is something that came on suddenly. There's maybe somebody's dealing with something where there was an emergency surgery, or maybe somebody had a stroke or a heart attack, or some kind of transformation that left you in a state of shock. For some of you, this is perhaps an argument that takes place that, turns things around, and you may be making that decision about, again, cutting off some aspect of your connection to another person because of this. But something has happened out of the blue that has created some havoc for you this week. Maybe a revelation, a surprise, a traumatic experience, something coming to crisis point that creates an unavoidable change. Now, for some of you, there's a surrender. You're being released. This is the get out of jail card, and you're being released from some kind of bondage or binding situation that was stifling you. For some of you, you are transforming. Maybe you're thinking about money, security, the bottom line answers, your domestic affairs, and there's a need to make a decision about making some changes either at work or with regard to your property. Now, if this is property, maybe you've discovered some kind of structural flaws, and you're having to make a decision about how much money to invest in a property. For some of you, maybe you've had interaction with this queen, and she is breaking through some false beliefs that you've had, or you're getting some disturbing news. For others of you, this change is not necessarily negative. This could be a new job. Maybe you're changing your residence. Maybe you are just making some changes that take you in a whole other direction. So for you, things will be falling into place. You're into the struggle and you've made some kind of a decision. For others of you, you're under pressure and you need to seek some type of peace or harmony. Whatever it is, this is about reorganizing some aspect of your life. And that's the key. The longer you hesitate to make the important moves that you need to do to transform some area of your life and reinvent yourself, the more likely that the universe is going to step in for you, and possibly in a very unpleasant way, to wake you up to some truths. So this is the perfect week to rebuild something that has collapsed. Some area of your life, some behavior that on a deep level you know is keeping you from making the most of yourself. So this could be a week where you have to let something go, whether you want to or not. If this is health related, this is the week where that's going to come home to roost. Maybe you haven't been following advice. Maybe you haven't been seeking the medical attention that you need to. Maybe, there's something released because you've been stifling some kind of emotion and now there's an outburst. Something related to emotional issues where you really need to be more flexible in your relationships. You've been too rigid and you're breaking out of that box. So this could be a week, given circumstances, that you really have to rely on your own strength, professionally, materially, personally, to do things on your own. Because again, this is about reinventing yourself. This is a week where if you've had doubt, which apparently you did in week 2 with that 2 of Swords, you can deal with that now. You can confront that change, and maybe you say something that shocks other people, or again, vice versa. This is a week where you're getting down to brass tacks. Tell it like it is. Just let me know, whatever that is, so I can make the changes that I need to that are good for me. Now, some of you, you're hearing something this week that you don't like, maybe you don't appreciate, and the truth of the matter is you have been holding tight to a situation and again, making those excuses, saying why it's not going to work if you do this, that, and the other, because you're trying to convince yourself that something is good for you when the truth is it's not. You may be telling somebody something, that's not really the truth. It may be you're telling them what you think they want to hear. Basically, you're putting a spin on some things. And for some reason or the other, you're leaving out important facts, and ultimately it creates some kind of misunderstanding. This is about looking at the truth of a situation and looking at the truth of you. You are not a victim, regardless of what has happened. Wherever you are, wherever your station in life is, whatever circumstances that you're facing, you have put yourself in that position. You've taken an active role in finding yourself exactly where you are. So this is a week, again, about getting real and, understanding that refusing to accept situations that you can't change will only work against you. Now, the underlying energy is this Ace of Cups. So this is all about sharing how you feel, emotional changes, turning points, new situations with regard to your emotions. And so this could be a very creative month. Maybe you're dealing with people who are compassionate. Maybe you're dealing with your creativity, maybe artists or psychic people, or maybe a lover. This is about drawing on that intuition and connecting to your divine source. So this is about also balance, putting that mind and that body and spirit in unison. So for some of you, this is about new relationships, emotional renewal. Maybe you're starting some type of creative enterprise. Maybe you're reviving a relationship. Maybe you're looking at your partnerships. So if that's the case, there could be something that comes out of the blue that creates some kind of transformation for you, and it could be very positive. Maybe you are telling somebody how you feel. Maybe you're making a passionate declaration. Maybe you're sharing your love. Maybe you're renewing your emotional connection. Maybe you're taking somebody by surprise with the depth of your feelings, or vice versa. So you're stepping out of your way to show your love through a gift, a gesture, or saying something, or that's happening to you. In the negative, though, this is about somebody feeling as if they're putting in more than they're getting back. It's feeling unhappy, feeling rejected, not getting that emotional attainment, delays, dealing with things that have a lack of emotional fulfillment. It's about grief and separation and problems in your relationship. So if that's the case, it could be that you and a loved one end up actually having an argument that transforms your connection. You may feel overwhelmed emotionally, and there could be some outbursts. Part of it could be, this need to express yourself and put yourself out there. Get out of your shell. Get out where you've closed yourself off. Now, in the positive, this is positive transformation that's coming about. Maybe you're socializing. Maybe you're beginning a romance and there's this intense chemistry with another. Maybe you are creating new friendships or working on opportunities. Whatever it is, it's an emotional development for you that's creating some change. Now, maybe there's, for some of you, a small percentage of you, this is about love and sharing that love. And maybe it's revolving around sexual release, or maybe you're having to release or let go of some property. Some of you are thinking about renewing a lease, or maybe you feel pressured to break up a relationship, or maybe you're deciding between an earth sign person and a Scorpio person, or maybe you're just transforming either your work, your lifestyle, or your property. Some of you are dealing with surgery or some powerful insights in some way. It's going to center around your partnerships, whether they are constructive or you're involved in interactions that are self-defeating and self-destructive, how you allow yourself to be handled by other people. And it's going to center around whether you're going to bring drama into your life on some level, or you're going to simplify some things. For you, you're facing something that's huge. And it may seem, as if you don't have any solutions, although you do. This is about the desire to accommodate someone else while still doing something in such a way that you feel good about it as well. And this is also going to deal with a desire. There's something that you want to do, whether that's expand your world in some way, whether it's to travel, to open up yourself to new experiences. And yet there's a part of you that feels some guilt, and it's holding you back from this decision to move forward. For some of you, there's this fascination with, traveling by by sea, or sailing, or the ocean, or something. And for many of you, this is about, again, some emotional development where you want to be understood, you want to be heard, you want to be loved, you want to be supported, and yet, for whatever reason, you feel that that's not happening. This is also going to be a situation where some outside factor will step in to take control of a situation that has been going nowhere. Perhaps it's that queen. You may know what you want to make happen. You may have very definite goals and objectives, but on some level you lack direction. You don't know how to proceed or how to make it happen. And for some of you, you are self-sabotaging. Again, talking yourself out of things or making excuses to stay in a rut because there's a fear or resistance to your own success. For some of you, you're not moving forward because there's a need to understand what the goal is. Is it valid? And you're going to want to get the details on that to understand before you follow through on your end of the deal. Whatever it is, there's a lot of pressure and yet somebody's not moving forward. There's somebody in the picture who will not be rushed or hurried, possibly, to make that decision. All right, Cancer, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Let me know with your comments and don't forget to subscribe. Have a great month, and I look forward to speaking with you next month.